Welcome back, everyone. Going to the second half here at Dropped Frames. Let's talk about these new interactive features for Twitch streams that just came out. I haven't even read through this whole article yet, so we'll be reading and learning this stuff in real time. So it looks like these interactive things that Twitch is adding are... Here we go. Which integrations can I see live now? There's the interactive Hearthstone overlay, the straw poll overlay, the leaderboard panel to automatically display the channel's top 5 cheers. Now playing panel, music streaming app built from the ground up for streamers. That's useful. I would probably use that one. Overlay, one stream overlay with many interactive apps, leaderboard, now playing, etc. The master Overwatch overlay, interactive profile and stats for Overwatch streamers. The Kappa pet panel, a pet that lives on the channel page. It responds to viewers, evolves as the stream runs, and goes to sleep whenever the streamer is offline. Okay, I could see that.
It's like a Tamagotchi.
Tamagotchi.
Yeah. The Smart Clip map overlay shows a heat map of clicks, allowing viewers to suggest the streamer's next move, card, or weapon by clicking directly on the video.
With a 30-second delay.
30-second delay. Okay. That's kind of cool. The Summoner info panel, that's League of Legends. The Destiny Life Tracker, of course, Destiny. Rocket League for Rocket League. Loyalty music, polls, and games overlay. Loyalty points, request songs, vote in polls, enter giveaways, and play mini games. So does that mean they're actually entering or creating a loyalty system now on Twitch? If I'm reading that correctly, or is that a plugin for loyalty systems like Revlo or like Co's token system or like all the other token systems that exist out there? I don't know.
Well, there's okay. To begin with, cool.
Yeah.
That's all pretty cool. That sounds fun. Now, to move on. Immediately, like, a very large double-digit percentage of viewers are going to be completely alienated. A lot of people watch on their TVs, their phones, their mobile devices, and none of this stuff is going to work for them.
Yeah.
So it would be strange for streamers to start using this as a primary when a very large percentage of their viewers are just not going to be able to use it. Second of all, there's a lot of stuff in here. I'd really like more info on some of this stuff.
Yeah,
How do I use it? How do I?
It doesn't say even how to use it in here.
Yeah, like there's a whole bunch of stuff in here.
Are any channels? I wonder if any channels are live with it now.
It says right here which channels are participating in the beta.
Now.
Yeah.
Giant Waffle earlier was doing some of the heat map stuff, and there are definitely some channels where this stuff is going on.
Co has the straw. They have a list of channels that are participating in the beta.
Oh,
so
there we go. I'm doing the straw poll one.
Under straw poll, yeah. A lot of people in the Kappa pet.
That is such a nostalgic thing, right? That's totally going for that Tamagotchi style, looking after a pet thing.
Yeah.
How long before it's like, oh, give it a 5-cheer treat?
Yeah.
I think that's going to be soon coming.
That'll probably already be in there, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised. So yeah, it looks like there's about 40 to 50 streamers involved with the beta of this that just went live. I don't know. Seems like good stuff. I think I agree with
every
all
optional
the things.
progress is progress, right?
Yeah. I think I agree with everything that Co said. It sucks for the people that will be alienated, like you said, on the TVs and the mobile browser. Anyone basically not on a computer watching through a web browser. But cool. That's all good stuff. I don't see
I wonder what the future of it would be. It would be absolutely crazy if you could have a API for these kind of custom overlays that tie into your own thing. So if you've got your own loyalty system like Co's system or Revlo or whatever, if people could click like, oh, enter giveaway, and they could do it all through your clicking screen and it just goes through the APIs, that would be insane.
That will be awesome when every Twitch app has it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing. There's a lot of features that mobile and satellite Twitch applications still don't have that are on Twitch, and they haven't had them for years. And that's actually one of the things that has me a little bit worried about a system like this, and kind of goes to an overarching issue that's happening at Twitch right now, where they're in this process of pumping out new features, but there are pretty big issues with features that have been coming out over the last year that are just straight up not being addressed. We had our dashboards completely redone in this new modular dashboard system. It is 95% great and 5% still broken. You still have issues with the preview. The follower count still doesn't update in real time like it did on the old dashboard. There's all these little problems that are still there. And then we see stuff like this, which is like, that's cool, but finish everything else first, please. Like,
Yeah.
let's wrap things up before we keep all this cool. Like, it's just getting to the point now where we have all of these like all of these
Almost finished.
slightly could be realized more systems. I don't want to say unfinished because they're mostly done. They just need a little bit of polish.
Mhm.
They need to be finished, and we've got a bunch of early access components,
Right.
and we want those to be finished. But yeah, like when you go to like questions of running giveaways on overlays and stuff like that, you have to immediately say, do I only want 2/3 of my audience seeing this stuff? Because like we've run small unofficial polls in my channel. In some cases when we've had 10K plus people, like 1/3 plus generally are watching on mobile, phone, iPad, Fire TV, Chromecast, so.
That's interesting. I didn't think it would be that much.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of mobile.
You can see that now, can't you, on your
Twitch on their
dashboard?
phone. That really is. Every time we do this stuff like that, like it's crazy how many people watch Twitch from their phone.
You can see
That's
that on
true.
your dashboard, Zachary. Where does that pop
I think
up?
I think there's a video section or something on your dashboard, video stats or something. It's like a new thing, and I think it might split. I'm sure I saw it the other day, and it surprised me seeing it myself. Let's have a look.
That might be a beta system that I don't have access to. Turns out when you talk a lot of shit about Twitch on a show, they've stopped giving you access to stuff.
Yeah. So for example, on mine, I can see platforms, web.
Yeah, I don't
6
have
million hours watched. iOS 700,000, Android 675,000, and mobile is 45,000. So what's that? 70. So what I've got 1.4 million hours watched on non-web, and then almost 7 million watched on web. So it's about 20%.
Yeah. Wow. And that's on just twitch.tv/.
Actually, just below here it says fuck JP as well.
I'm sure it does.
It says that actually funny on every official
On every
Twitch
single one.
document. If
Yeah,
you're close
it's-
enough, they have watermarks.
It's the Twitch slogan, apparently.
What's the name?
Welcome
of,
to Twitch. Fuck JP.
What's the name of that tab, Sekiro?
Video stats.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not
have it.
in my dash. But I'm glad after 2 years we're actually getting analytics instead of like it's coming soon. I'm glad it's coming soon for some people already. That's good to hear. But yeah, we'll see what else they add. I don't know. I want to mess around with this stuff, but I don't really have an opinion on it yet because I haven't seen how it works. Because it's only been live for like less than an hour right now. So I'll definitely go and.
Which one are you most excited about from the list? Which one do you think actually that's genius?
I
I think maybe the Tamagotchi thing. That's kind of like,
Yeah, I
don't
think-
know,
I
it's
think
like a
the-
community project.
the pet panel stuff could be kind of cool. It depends on. I mean, it'll take a day till someone figures out how to monetize that in a gross way. That'll become the main
Yeah.
way to monetize that.
Yeah.
I kind of like the game specific stuff. I think that's cool. The ability, like, hey, I'm tuning into the stream for the first time, and I don't have to type in chat. What rank is the? What's the SR? That they can literally just click on the overlay and be like, here's everything about this person.
That is, yeah.
And see, like, dude, going into what Sacriel talked about, imagine if like this stuff gets opened up and we can make it so if someone says something in chat, hey, what game is he playing right now? Then that would feed into an API that would put on their screen, Ko is currently playing blah, blah, blah. Hey, what does Ko think of this game? Here's what Ko thinks of this game, blah, blah, blah. Like,
And
you
you
could
know-
set keywords, you could set overlay
What's his
stuff. Like,
favorite
you
map?
could,
Yeah.
it
The
could be
best-
completely game-changing.
The
That
best
would be
part
crazy.
about that, Co, is that the person then will say, hey, thanks for putting that on stream for me. As if you had anything to do with it. It was just automated. And you'll be like, no problem, man. No problem.
You do that enough, and eventually the whole stream is just responses to chat. It's
Yeah.
just like an
Yeah,
AI.
you just can sit there and play the game. It'll be great.
You could just have a local side one that's like the person's that's watching the stream's name comes up and it's like, it's our fan of the week. And every single person in your chat's like, I'm the fan of the week. And you're like, you're all great.
That'd
My
be great.
favorite viewer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. The music one, I think I would use right off the bat because that's probably a question that every streamer gets asked when any song comes up. Hey, what song is this? And not in the joking manner with Sandstorm. It's in the break. 40 or 50 people use the bot command like song just so they could know what song was playing. And if that pops up on the stream, that's great. It gets it out of chat. It stops the clutter of a bot having to put spam in there every 30, 40 seconds, whatever that is. And
You don't put
puts it on stream.
you don't put song title and artist on your screen.
Nope. Because
Oh,
then
we
it
got
gets
room for that,
that's.
Z?
Sometimes you do.
I do that.
I mean, I think the majority of people do that for sure. I just
Ain't nobody verified has time for that. Excuse me.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a
You are a
That's
cunt, sir. I'm gonna fucking punch you next time I rip your goddamn beanie
I
off.
won't have to pay for
I'm
it. This
gonna
time?
pull it down over your shoulders and then hockey punch your fucking jaw.
I'll hold him down. Zeke.
What's a hockey punch?
It's when you pull their fucking shit down and you punch them up
yeah.
like
You
that.
put you get them messed up in their jersey so they can't.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to wear my jersey.
Oh man, that makes me laugh.
I'm not sore about that at all.
No, not at all. There's no.
I just got a new salty emote. Let me put it to work.
Oh man, that was funny. That was good. Anyways, yeah, that stuff looks cool. Again, I want to see what it's like on an actual use. I want to see if I don't know. There's a lot of other things where I would just wish they would fix that, but it also, like Zachary said, it's cool to see them push new stuff to the site. But again, analytics, we've been asking for like 2 years now,
Yeah.
and we've always been told, "Oh yeah, it's coming soon." Okay, all right, Twitch, thanks for using that line.
Do you think that would be a kind of a low-hanging fruit? It's not like the data's not available.
No, it's not.
I
I can
wonder
go
why
to a
it's taken him
website
so
right
long.
now that has all of the data. I just want that
Yeah.
to be at Twitch already.
In a graph, yeah.
Part of me wonders.
Co-
Well, go ahead, Zeke.
Look at are you on your dashboard?
Am I?
Look at your page dashboard.
Yeah.
It's one of the tabs at the top. I didn't know that. It's video stats.
Oh! I thought it was in the actual dashboard module.
I did too. I was like looking for
No.
it.
It's if you go
Yeah.
to twitch.tv
Oh,
/your
oh yeah, there it
name
is.
/
Fuck JP.
dashboard.
Wow, yeah. Okay, I got it.
Oh.
This is newer than, yeah.
Oh, see, I totally thought you were talking about that little drop down in
No.
the stats.
Literally the
Yeah.
page / dashboard. Yeah, it's in there.
Yeah.
Yep, web, Android, iOS, mobile web.
Wow, my channel's is y'all's iOS favorite or Android favorite? Mine's Android
iOS.
favorite.
Mine's like
Android.
within 5% of each other.
Mine's
Yeah,
pretty large
I'm
disparity.
7.3 mil Android, 6.6 mil iOS.
Interesting. We're gonna have
Wow.
a
Who's your after the United States, and probably I would imagine the UK for all of
Cheeky
us.
Brits.
United States and UK. Who's next for you guys?
Wow, I feel really bad about those those Hitler jokes because Germany.
Yeah, Germany for me too. Yeah, Germany for me too.
Yeah. Well, who's yours, Co? You had a face, so who is it?
US, UK, Germany,
Okay, yeah, maybe Germany.
then Canada and Sweden.
Yeah, that's
Close.
exactly mine as well, Co.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that seems weird.
We're gonna feel dumb when it's just those are the 5 ones they show us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Right. Man, those streamers really are fucking idiots. We can put any data out there and they'll believe it.
Oh, that's cool. It even tells you where people come from, like
Yeah,
Twitter,
dude, this is
Google.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
I have the most people come to me from Google. 4 times the amount of people come to me from Google than Twitter.
Mine are pretty even. Although that makes sense because you have your site, right? So most people probably come from your
do.
site. Yeah.
Click on details in the top right. You can even like graph it and stuff. It's pretty rad.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna have a field day with this info.
Well, I was about to ask what an actual stat that means a lot, so I'll ask that offline. The average view duration.
We can talk later.
I'm interested in everyone's average view duration because that's one of the most important stats for content creators. But anyways, let's move on from that shit because viewers don't give a fuck about it. What they do care about is us shitting on Destiny 2. So let the shitting commence. No, it's not going to be shitting. It might be. I don't know. I feel like with Destiny 2, I'll start off. I watched Giant Bomb put out a video of the strike from the event. They were actually able to get footage out of that event that I don't think was given to. It might have been given to other content creators. I'm not sure. Anyways, they got footage of the strike, and I feel like if you were to show that strike footage and tell a Destiny 1 player that this is an expansion that just got released for Destiny
Yeah,
1
DLC.
or DLC, that they would, I would believe you. Anyone would. It looks fucking wonderful. I cannot spot a difference. It's like they're slapping Destiny 2 onto DLC from my perspective. Zeke, you're
Isn't that
you're
same for most games now, like Call of Duty. If you looked at the different Call of Duties, one would look like a DLC to the next.
I don't know. Maybe the graphics aren't changing that much in terms of improvement. But Zeke, I want to ask you, because you're probably the most hardcore Destiny player, which really, out of us, which really isn't saying much, like I was gonna say. But like, do you see a difference between the footage of Destiny 2 and the game that you've played, Destiny 1? Like, is there a big enough difference?
I didn't actually look at it.
Okay,
I
well,
was
pull it
hoping
up.
I was hoping you would show it.
I'm not gonna show someone else's content on like YouTube and stuff that I don't have access to. That if it was another streamer, I'd fucking say screw
Is it not a
him,
public trailer you can show or anything?
maybe.
Yeah,
Or you just
trailers,
talking about-
but
Yeah, Activision might claim it, but I'll show
This
some stuff.
video is actual gameplay. Like they not only kind of go over the inventory and UI, and but they log into a round and then play around for a little bit. So there, it's one of the first times you can actually see what Destiny 2 is going to feel and play like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an interesting to watch video, to be honest.
Have you become a Khajiit? You have like a tail.
What?
Keith have words if you have called.
Yeah. Are you watching that? Do you need me to link you the Giant Bomb video, Zeke? Or are you
I
watching it?
think I have one of them. I know I'm looking at Destiny 2 Strike.
Okay.
It's probably not the same one, but
It's all the same footage for sure. And that's off of
25
a PS...
minutes of Strike.
Yeah, that's off
Okay.
of a PS4 Pro, I think. And they said when they were playing, and we'll get to the PC stuff, but they said Jeff Gerstmann was the one that played it all, and he was saying that the PC version running at 4K and 60 FPS looked fucking incredible and like a step up of a game from 1 to 2. But for the most part, it just looks like Destiny 1. But again, I didn't play the game religiously, so I'm sure if you're a diehard Destiny fan, one, you don't really give a fuck how much of an improvement it looks graphically. You're gonna play it anyways because you love Destiny so much, and it's more Destiny, right? Like that's kind of what I got from their announcement last week is, hey, it's more Destiny. And all the Destiny people were like, great, that's awesome, fantastic. I can't wait till September or the beta or whenever. That's gonna be great. But Zeke, you're watching a little bit of it now. What do you got? Any first thoughts?
I don't know. I guess I don't know what you're expecting.
A jump from 1 to 2, a big enough reason to call it Destiny 2.
In what regard? A jump in what regard? If
graphics,
fidelity isn't enough.
Gameplay, just
I think JP's really fishing here. Anything,
yeah,
anything look better.
Well, it's less to do with. I mean, it is to do with graphics. Sure, I wanted graphical improvement, but it's also like the gameplay. The second to second gameplay didn't really change that much, and it still looks like after you do a raid or a strike for the first time, you're still going to be doing a raid for a strike the second time, the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time. It's still Destiny at the end of the day. There's nothing that I can see that was a huge change to the formula that is Destiny.
Well,
I'm seeing the same enemies. Seeing a lot of the same enemies.
Don't get me wrong. We should also preface this. We'll probably all be playing Destiny 2 on the first day, without a doubt. We're just on a talk show and want to talk about it. Yeah, on console. Yeah, exactly.
But one of the things that I think is important to mention, because I'm not sure who made the point, but it was a good point, and I think it was you, JP. Think Metro. Think Stalker.
Okay.
These games had almost identical UIs. In some cases, you fought almost the same enemies in each of them. But fans of those series absolutely love each installment. It's like, if you're invested in it, it's like you have a favorite author and you just want to read everything they have to write. You don't care if the book uses the same characters. You don't care if it's the same setting. You just want to read more of that author. And that's how Destiny 2 fans feel about Destiny. They're invested, especially the ones that have been with Destiny since the beginning. Like, this is not only a big event for them, but like this is what they've been waiting for in some cases years. So Bungie doesn't need to change a lot of things. In fact, it could be to their detriment to change a lot of things because they have this rabid, dedicated fan base. They can put up a preview stream for a DLC and get 55,000 viewer plus, streams. It's there. That community's there. It's invested. If they were to make a whole bunch of big changes, if it were to look totally different, that could be a big issue to them. They're like, where's my Destiny? Like, and they're the ones that, let's be honest, Destiny 2 is meant for everyone, but it's really for the Destiny fans.
Well, they want to keep their base.
Exactly. They want to cater to their base. So,
if it's not broke, don't fix it, right?
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of people are like, it looks the same, but I kind of think that was the point in a lot of ways. They just wanted more of what people already like.
Maybe
so. I never played Destiny 1 at all. Wasn't my cup of tea. For those of you that did play it, did it have any obvious flaws And do those flaws appear to be fixed in what you know about Destiny 2?
I mean, I think the flaws, from my perspective, changed.
Other than the voice acting.
Well, yeah, it changed as the game went along, right? Like when the game first shipped, I think the flaw was the content was lacking. The amount of things to do in the game was lacking. Like, I'm pretty sure in my 24-hour stream, I hit max level, and then there wasn't much to do except prep for the raid for the next 2 weeks. Then you did the raid, and then that was kind of it till the next DLC came out, if I recall correctly. And so I think content and amount of content has always been their biggest struggle. But I'm sure there's a lot of Destiny players in the chat, and they'll definitely be vocal about this well, so we can pull from there. But for me, it was always just the amount of content was the biggest thing.
Everyone in chat
Is
thinks
it
story.
just real quick? Is it 30 FPS total?
On
for
consoles?
across?
No, on PC
On
it's 60.
consoles.
No, PC
Okay.
it is 60. It's proven 60, and they said it looks gorgeous at 60.
Yeah.
There was
Okay.
a dude that was standing over the pit where people were allowed to test the PC version, and he said that not only was the entire time that he was there, did every one of them run over 60 frames per second, but he said that while he was standing there, not a single one of them crashed the entire time he was watching.
Yeah.
So the PC version clearly looks to be in decent.
Yeah. And Jesse Cox,
condition.
Ammunition, they all play the PC version, and they said it was awesome. They said, like, that's their preferred, obviously, way to play. But yeah.
Dude, I'm watching this entire, like, I've been watching since you told me to watch it, and I want to play it. I want to play it like
And that's the reaction
I wanted
that-
to play
Yeah.
the old Destiny, like, because I remember how fun it was to watch health bars go down and numbers fly out of enemies. When
I'm
you're
right there with
hitting them,
you,
you're
man.
like, bam, bam, 130, you're like, yay, numbers flying. It's great.
Yeah.
And I feel that's that same way. Now, as far as does it look like an expansion? I suppose. But I think the biggest changes are coming with the accessibility for raids and the gameplay
Okay, yeah. We could talk
and
about
stuff
that,
like
sure.
that. I think that might be the biggest changes. Like you have to fucking walk a line with something that is beloved by so many people. Like how much can we change before we fuck our fan base over?
Yeah. That's a good point. I think that's definitely something I wasn't considering when I watched a lot of that footage. But you mentioned the clan system. It's funny that they're going back to clan. It seems cool that it's clans. That if you know what a clan is in gaming world, that's kind of what from my understanding, that's
Is that
what
like
you're
is that
getting.
like Guild in WoW or
Yeah, pretty much.
okay?
What was the system where they introduced where is clans a system, or is it something else where you could like have one person join a group of friends or something in the matchmaking? What was that called? There was a word for that I forgot that they showed off last week.
Yeah, the new how you can jump in.
Something like
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Where it's you're not basically being put with
Guided games.
guided games. That's the term that they used. Yeah. That sounds
I thought
cool.
I thought that was pretty sweet how they're making it more accessible for people who maybe don't have many friends or don't speak a language of a lot of people that are online right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that'd be awesome to go into a raid without having to get 5 other people to go with you.
Yep. Yeah. I wonder how long it'll take for the internet to influence that system in the sense of make it not a safe place to go, so to speak. I hope that works out though. That's one of the things that you really won't know until it's out there in the wild. But the system itself seems pretty cool. And then some of the other big changes, PvP is now 4v4 instead of, I think it was 6v6 before. And they kind of, one of the modes I think is almost CS like, where you plant a bomb and you have to defend it. And
I like search and destroy kind of thing.
Yeah, that type of stuff. And that looked fine. It just looks like more multiplayer modes for those that like that. To me, it just looks like Halo because it's from Bungie, and that's the gunplay at its heart of Destiny. I think is just Halo gunplay, which is perfectly fine. I have no issues with that as a huge Halo fan. But yeah, apart from that, then we can talk about the Destiny or the PC stuff, which came out after the fact, which I think.
Oh wait, but before is that part of we're gonna talk about Blizzard? Like
Yeah. Because they're part of the PC thing. We'll talk about that first.
Okay.
They ended the announcement, the stream, with them saying that Battle.net will be their only way to get it on PC. Removing Steam from the equation, which I think is totally fine. As someone that uses the Battle.net launcher,
It's a solid platform.
every time I play Overwatch, every time I play WoW when I used to play it, or I don't know. I don't have any issues with that. I don't know why. Like, do you guys know why you would have issues with that? Do you know the counter side of that? Because I'm kind of blind to it.
But my Steam achievements.
Is that? Yeah. Oh, you're right. Fuck. Steam. Yeah. Battle.net doesn't have achievements.
No, I mean honestly, it's the kind of thing where, when it's you use it to get into the game, and use it to update the game. Who really cares?
Who cares? Yeah. And it's also their anti-cheat.
Friends and play. Who cares?
Yeah, sure. And they've got anti-cheat, and if you've got a fleshed out Battle.net friends list, you'll already hooked up and everything. Like, I don't use Battle.net for anything. The last thing I used it for was Overwatch, like a year ago or whatever. So, but it worked fine. It's always worked fine. It's a decent system. You know, it's generally always up. I mean, hell, the Steam every week maintenance thing drives me crazy sometimes.
And wait a minute, it's not Battle.net anymore.
So that video was formed or filmed before they changed the name. Apparently, I don't think it's called Battle.net anymore.
What's it? I've not heard this.
I think it's called the Blizzard Launcher.
I have on my computer it says Blizzard app.
Or yeah, maybe it's the Blizzard.
That's
lab.
crazy. It's kind of like losing a friend. Like I've known of the term Battle.net from like StarCraft 1 on dial-up and Diablo 1 on dial-up. Like losing Battle.net's kind of crazy, right?
It's literally the same thing. It's just them branding it to
It's just just seeing that kind of Battle.net kind of gives you all those memories of like Diablo 1 and all these years ago.
Yeah.
But
totally.
no. I wonder if they're going to change it to, because if they're calling it app, I wonder if they're going to go with the whole Discord curse Twitch app thing where like all of a sudden it's like, you can add friends and you can call each other and there's voice rooms and Twitch integration. I wonder if they're going with that angle because it seems like everyone's fighting for that market right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's something that's launched down the line for sure.
Because that could do some really clever integration. If they had the Blizzard app use Twitch APIs, and then you could have like sub-only guilds and stuff, like you could do some really interesting stuff.
Yeah.
If you could click a button in Destiny and be like, find me 3 subs to play with, click, and it looks on your friends, your sub lists, not even friends, sees if they're in the game and just pulls them into your lobby. And then, simple things like that would make a game really interesting.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, any of those launchers, Curse, Discord, they could all steal that. That would be a great initiative. Put you in a chat room with the 4 of them, and you can exchange friend, or it pops up their already input friend code, so you can add them all, et cetera, et cetera. Like that would be great. I was looking to see what chat has a lot of like qualms or what their qualms are with the Blizzard launcher, and someone was saying like they have 2 friends on the Blizzard app and they have 80 on Steam. It's not that hard to add a friend though. Like, I see what you're saying, but it's not that hard.
I would even venture to say that it's better. Like the friend system is better on the Blizzard app because my fucking Steam list it's fucking full and it's bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate that. I hate that going like I have to drop people to add people. It's fucking dumb.
I think all platforms like Uplay and Origin and Steam and everything, there should be something where you can click on like add friend and it says like your friends list is full. If you're a content creator, click here to apply, and you can click it and it gives you like another 1,000 if they can tell that you're worth the effort kind of thing. Like it's such a pain for us to be like, I want to add a friend. Okay, I've got to remove someone. Then you're removing friends and subs to add other subs, and then you need to play with that game later, so you have to remove the other guy. It's like, why? There should be some kind of process, just like, hey, are you like a public facing person? Maybe you need more. Click here, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, I would love.
There is a cap on Blizzard. I didn't know that.
Oh, is it 250, 100? What is it?
200 cap on Blizzard. I didn't know that.
That's not too bad. But yeah, Sacriel, to your point, I'd love that the world would bend to streamers and content creators will and make things for the 3,000 content creators that exist. But yeah, probably not going to happen.
But I imagine the reason it has a rudimentary cap like 200 is if you have thousands of people and bots and stuff that are out there just adding any old shit, you'd end up clogging up your servers. And if you do some kind of verification where you say, I'm twitch.tv/itmeJP, click, and it puts a code. It DMs you on Twitch a code to say like, "Is this really you?" And you put it in, and it says, "Okay, your friends list is now 1,000." Like the overhead for them would be a week's worth of dev and a bit of server space, but the thing would be all these content creators have a much cleaner experience in playing with their fans, which means they're more likely to play your game. So you know, I think it's just a thought.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, I don't know. I agree. So yeah, they announced that it's going over to Battle.net. That was a big story. And then about it's later that evening. I think PC Gamer was the first to launch with it. They came out and said that the PC version will not. The date is still to be determined, which means it's probably not going to be there at launch. And there was much moaning and groaning about that.
How was Destiny 1? Was that PC day one?
It was not on PC ever. That's why not that many.
Yeah, that's probably why I never played it then.
Yeah, exactly.
Console only, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So yeah, now a lot of people are pretty irked by that because it does suck to have to wait to play longer, and you're probably going to end up buying the console version to begin with now, and then waiting till the PC version comes out.
It's almost like a marketing play, right?
A little bit.
People want to play it day one, but most people, I would say, on average, if they have the ability to play it on PC, would rather play it on PC, so they'll just buy another copy when it comes out. So it's almost a clever marketing play.
Yeah. Yeah. I also wonder how much, like, in the world of business, this is totally conjecture and has no rumor for this or at all. I really wonder if the Sonys or the Xbox, the Microsofts of the world paid for that so that they get the people to buy the game to play on their console. Because that in
is
itself,
by Bungie, right?
Yeah, that is so smart business to force people to play on their console.
Had Halo 1 as a PC game, and then Microsoft released Xbox, DirectX box.
Well, they bought the exclusivity, yeah.
Bought Halo and then made it exclusive, so it's not like that's not in the history of the franchise or the company.
Yeah, and
actually, yeah.
Sony and Bungie have been in bed with each other for the Destiny stuff, where I think the PlayStation's always gotten early access or gotten the certain DLCs before everyone else, is my understanding. So I wouldn't be surprised if that has some play into why it's being delayed, but I have no basis for that whatsoever. So don't quote me on that, but it just sucks at the end of the day.
Especially as content creators, right?
Yeah. I'm curious to just going around here. Like, are you guys going to buy the console version and then play the PC version when it comes out, or are you just going to wait? Like, where are you guys at for that?
Not really my cup of tea either way, so I have no comment.
Yeah.
Say that again. I didn't hear it.
Are you going to buy the console version when it launches and wait for the PC, or are you just going to wait for the PC versions?
I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait for the PC version.
Really?
Yeah, I'll just wait.
I guarantee you're going to be buying
the viewership.
Yeah.
You give up the exclusive viewership of playing it weeks late.
I don't think Zeke's really in the Destiny.
Really
No one,
game,
no
though.
one watches my channel for new shit. Like Friday the 13th did shitty for me today.
Well, that was
it was worse than a normal day. It always is. All the hype games are worse than a normal day for me.
What
so
about you?
I can wait. I can wait. It's okay.
Okay. Co, what about you? Where are you at on it?
Well, I'm kind of in this weird position because, I used to lead. I led a guild for 10 years. I used to play competitively, and when I started on Twitch, I kind of pushed a lot of that to the side and kind of focused more on community and let's all have a good time. One of the things I wanted to do in Destiny 2, and I was pretty adamant about this after I confirmed it on PC, is I wanted to try to do that again. I wanted to, be one of the first people to complete raids. I wanted to get a static group together. Like I was talking
children.
about.
How can you have time to run a raid as well as stream as well as have a life?
I was considering like no lifing this game for a while, like MMO style, like going hard and doing it, like I haven't in years. So I'm in this weird position where when I learned that it was going to be pushed back on PC, all of those plans got thrown away.
Did it just take the oomph out of it for you? Like,
I think it did for a lot of people.
Like it completely took the wind out of my sails. Will I play Destiny 2 on PC? Probably yes. I will most likely play it when it comes out. I will probably play it casually just to kind of see the stuff and do the stuff. There obviously won't be any pressure because any raid I do on the PC, I can just Google it and there'll be a YouTube from 2 months ago of them beating it on the PlayStation. So it's just there's no question that my excitement for Destiny 2 has been severely tempered because of this PC stuff. And where I was like super jazzed about diving into this for weeks, it's now just kind of like, cool, another game to play, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, JP? You asked a question, you didn't answer it.
Yeah, I don't know. It really depends. Is someone who is currently seeking a game to play for long stretches of time that also is good for viewership, which is kind of the golden goose that I think a lot of streamers chase. I will probably see what else is coming out around then and see if it is worth it. But I was there at the launch of Destiny and did a 24-hour stream. 18 hours into that 24-hour stream, I had done everything I could do in Destiny till the raid launched. So, like,
okay,
I really wonder, like, how there is someone who's grinded things over and over for 30 years now of my life. I don't know if I can do that anymore in a game like Destiny, where a lot of stuff is, you know, grinding for whatever you legendary or doing a boss over and over, try to get better weapon drops, etc. I don't know if I can do that for that much longer. Will I play on PC? Probably. I don't know if I'll be as hardcore about it, like Ko was saying. It might just be a game to casually jump in, see all the strikes, check out the raids, see what they're like, just to see the content once, and then probably put it down. Kind of how I've treated Destiny in the past, for the most part.
It's for me. It's definitely probably going to be an offline game.
Yeah.
I mean, non-streaming
Destiny
game, non-streaming.
Yeah.
But you played Destiny 1 a lot off stream too, right?
Yeah, it was like, I'm done with my broadcast. Now I'm going to fucking, Cheetos and Mountain Dew and grind. grind. I love it. Grind.
One thing I do kind of want to add though, and I don't just want to, like, you know, I'm certainly not just directly ripping into them, but I do have to say that ever since this announcement, first of all, they had the big Destiny 2 show. People seem to eat it up. Not only did they not address the PC version at the Destiny 2 show, they actually showed it off and got people excited for it. They never at the show talked about the delay. The only way we found out was a line from an interview that became their official press release. And ever since that point, there has been nothing but confusion, false information, people saying, oh, they're going to do this, and oh, they're going to do this, and we don't even know when it's going to come out. And oh, they said it was going to be out in December. No, they said it'd be 2 weeks later. Like, it has caused one of the biggest just whirlwinds of misinformation. And the thing that's so frustrating is, like, you guys are a big company. Yeah. Like, you can stand up and throw us a bone. Like, you know, something that can placate us that isn't in stone that you can change on your side. And it's so weird to me that they're really just kind of putting PC players in the back corner, and they're like, we'll get to you when we want to. You know, it's just like, will you please just give it what's going on? Like, just tell us what's going on.
I agree.
I don't know. It seems weird.
The beginning,
maybe they are hustling. Maybe they are hustling to get it out, you know, dual launch. Maybe they don't want to commit to it's going to be late if there's a, you know, 30% chance they can do it on time.
But that's the thing, because everyone has read that line, and now there's like all of this. Nobody know. They've created the issue by saying that line in the interview. It almost would have been better if they didn't say anything until they had art info. I would much rather still think that PC is coming. And by the way, I don't know if it's been changed, but someone told me a couple days ago the PC pre-orders still say the same date.
Really? That's
so. It's
shitty.
Like, where are we going to hear what's going on?
Yeah.
When he started saying, like, they didn't, in terms of not talking about the event, I understand from a PR perspective why they wouldn't do that. It's a huge negative thing to put on the giant event, right? But exactly what you said, for it to come out in the PC article, for them to not really talk about it after that, huge amounts of confusion, that's not good. There's no way to look at that and think like, oh yeah, this is going how we wanted it to. This is good. All this misinformation is great for our player base, etc. But leading off that event and saying like, yeah, we don't know when it's going to come out for PC would definitely put a huge black hole in that entire press event. And I really wonder, with that now being a possibility that it's probably not going to come out on PC at launch, what that'll look like on Twitch. You know, we ended last week talking about how big the launch of Destiny 2 would be on Twitch, saying like it would be crazy fucking viewers, blah 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 blah, just fucking jerking off the Destiny guys nonstop. And then now I gotta get at least one jerking off comment in every show. That's right.
Now, before the end
Hold
of
on,
the
hey, put a video underneath us.
Why's that?
Any video, any Destiny 2 video. Put the trailer back up or something.
Okay, give me a second. It's gonna take a while. This joke better
never
be.
Mind.
This joke
Joke's
better
over.
be
Joke's
worth
over.
it.
Fuck it.
Okay, all right.
90% of comedy is timing. Come on, boys. Let's go.
Yeah, I did have it. You caught me off guard. All right, I'm ready, Zeke. Here we go. The joke's playing. Go.
No, don't do it now. I'm not gonna do
Zeke,
anything.
Commit to
the
it,
Destiny
commit to
video
I
footage.
was just gonna do this.
Like a circle jerk.
Yeah.
I got it. But how do I can't go over to Sacriel? It doesn't.
This little
But
loop.
you can.
this
I'll
thing-
pretend to be you, JP.
Okay.
There we go. Perfect.
It's a nice circle
You know
jerk
what's
there.
hilarious?
Why is Sacriel's dick
I was
so
gonna
much
say
bigger? Why am I
before
doing
you started
this?
I was just doing
different in
this
England.
for Cole. I was just doing that.
Yeah. It's okay. I only get jerked by verified people. So anyway, the funny thing is that when Zeke, when you were going down that, I was actually gonna say the only thing that would complete the show is if JP were to say circle jerking. So we're totally
There we
on
go.
the same.
We've hit
And
all the
now
bullet
we're here.
points.
So show's good. Also, just everyone to make sure you notice it. There's at least 1 pixel of yellow under my camera on top of the title. Just want to make sure everyone OCDs is triggered.
Maybe on this one there is. On this one, I think there is. I don't know. Yeah. Look. Anyways, let's talk about that launch now and how it's gonna have worse numbers. It's just gonna have worse numbers. Yeah, people aren't gonna be playing on PC. It's not gonna be as hype. I can't recover from that at all.
Now, hold on. After that, JP, let me just.
Are you using a propane to light that? What the fuck? Is that even?
That's what we do here in the South.
Jesus Christ. I don't think
I'm surprised he didn't turn the fucking stove on and wait for the coil to turn orange and then bend his down and do it, because that's real ghetto shit right there.
Yeah. I've seen a couple people do that, and I was just like, oh, that's pretty impressive. I thought that was very smart, Zeke. I don't know if that was ghetto. That's why.
Yeah,
that's just
that went from
yeah.
okay to shit show real quick there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, Destiny 2. I don't know. I think we're done talking about it. I think we covered it.
No, you're talking about the launch like being staggered between the console and PC, and it is gonna fuck the numbers on Twitch, I think.
Yeah. Do you think it's far? I mean, we're what? I guess 3 months out now, really, from launch. 3.5, 3 and change. Do you think that the hype will be able to build back up? I mean, I don't really think that much of it was lost, honestly.
If they were clever, they'd maybe hold back some kind of content push for the PC launch, like a new raid or whatever, so that at least people had a reason to go like, oh, what's the new raid? And then they look on Twitch and then they see loads of streamers and go, oh, wow. And then maybe it'll give it a second wind. If it's the exact same build that you've been watching for, 2 months already, and then it's just on PC, I doubt it's going to rekindle any flames.
Yeah. I don't know.
There is a crowd that is specifically waiting for that, though. There's been a crowd of Destiny 1 players that would be playing Destiny 1 if it was on PC. I'm one of them. So I mean, like, we'll be there regardless. I mean, if it's on PC is the barrier, not release dates for consoles. PC is what we're waiting for. So
yeah.
I mean, even if I'm not going to be hugely jazzed about it, I'll be there on day one playing on PC.
Yeah. I mean, you're still going to have your Gothalions, your Bromans, your Destiny 2 streamers pulling incredible viewership that week, without a doubt.
Absolutely. And here's the thing, though. What's crazy about most Destiny full-time streamers now, almost all of them have both consoles, and they level multiple characters across both of them. Like, they spent, like, literally, when on unlock day, they just go through their characters on one, and then they get on their other, and they go through that. It's going to be the exact same with PC. So when the PC gets here, all those console Destiny streamers will have basically had X amount of months, like, prepping for the PC release, and then their already established massive Destiny 2 fan bases will just roll right into PC. It's great for them. Like
Yeah.
it's hugely beneficial for console Destiny streamers that plan on playing on the PC.
The
It is
ironic
a big boost for them.
The ironic thing is the reason they do that, is because there's not enough content to really
Yeah.
like have.
Yeah.
That's how any MMO works.
Yeah,
though. You start
yeah.
making alts.
A 6-hour stream or whatever every single day, you're gonna run out of stuff
for
pretty
years,
quickly. Yeah,
literal years playing the same game. Yeah.
Is the depth of difference between the characters as deep as in MMO though? Like if you level 0 to 100 in WoW as a warrior and then as a priest, it's a fairly different experience, especially with the different races, the different quest chains, the different
Yeah.
things. Whereas if you play Destiny through and it's like, well, instead of my special ability being a fireball, it's a shield, isn't
Well,
it pretty much the same game?
I think Zeke could probably answer this the best. He probably has the most experience, but I believe there is a relatively large amount of diversity between the classes. I mean, you've got perks, your entire equipment loadout, your abilities, how you spec those abilities, subclasses. I think there's a pretty good amount of variance. But again, Zeke would probably know better than me.
You were asking about like how varied are the classes?
Are the classes in Destiny?
Are the
like,
classes
is it a
varied enough?
completely different experience playing different classes?
The classes are varied enough that if you're going to do anything serious, you need all three classes represented well.
Is it Trinity based?
I don't think so. Trinity being the holy trinity of MMOs, like healer, tank, DPS.
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
No.
They have like one is like quasi tank, one is like quasi
Titan.
range DPS warlock, and one is like normal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all range DPS, right? But one is like magical ranged fucking thing, and one is like kind of well, I guess in the base game, in Destiny 2, they're kind of changing it up with the new classes. But yeah, for the most part, there's no holy trinity to answer your question.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of this is less Destiny, more Twitch. I tried to load the stream about 3 minutes before it went live on my phone and on my PC and on a different PC, and had the worst time trying to get that fucking thing to load. And eventually I just went to YouTube. So now I'm worried, like, what the fuck's going to happen at E3 when these giant conferences happen?
when that live. I was streaming when that Destiny thing went live, and my stream went down.
Yeah. Were you
That's how big of an impact it had.
Well, there's no way you were on the same Inject server, so I don't know.
No, I was on London.
Yeah,
but I was
there's no way.
streaming, and then all of a sudden, like, everyone in chat's like, rip, panic basket,
Yeah.
DDoS, all the usual stuff. And I was like, what? And to the local Ingress server, I was still streaming at 6 meg. And I tried to load my own stream, and I couldn't. And I tried to load other streams, and I couldn't. And I was like, what's going on? And then, like, 10 minutes later, someone said, like, oh, Destiny's 2 live. And I'm like, oh, okay, that'll do it.
Yeah, it's always really shitty when we're covering E3. And instead of watching the Twitch stream, I'm watching the YouTube stream and not saying anything of the fact that I'm watching the YouTube stream.
Just full screen it and hope no one notices.
Yeah, exactly. And don't move the mouse at all on that computer because it's going to show the YouTube overlay. So I really hope that whatever issue happened, I hope that was like a stress test to not fucking fail during the week of E3. It's one of the worst things for that to happen. But it was still a lot of fucking viewers. There was like 400,000 or something on Twitch, which is pretty crazy. I think that beat their record previously of like 300K or something. I want to say for their DLC stream of whatever name it was, Rise of Iron maybe before that. I just hope it stays up for E3 and they get all that shit sorted out. Because there's a lot of E3 happening and it's pretty much all streamed as we continue to grow in that industry. So that's our any other thoughts on Destiny 2 before we move on? Anything else?
Nope.
Okay.
No, I'm actually looking forward to a game where I can just mindlessly grind something.
500K.
Got that
Okay,
MMO
sorry.
itch, man. It's not an MMO, but it gets the itch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I'm getting that from Final Fantasy.
Yeah, we got to talk about that
yeah.
at some point. I'm very interested to know how your journey is going here.
Yeah. Last night I had like we did so. I'll just break it down very quickly because I don't want to spend too much time on this. There's actually a lot of news that I do want to talk about. But in Final Fantasy, they've had this thing called the Deep Dungeon, which is called Palace of the Dead. And it has 200 floors that you have to clear starting from 51. If you die once, you start back at 51. so you can't really die in this thing. And we ended up clearing it all the way to 200 last night, but it brought me back to the not even like WoW level of it brought me back to like old school like Dark Age of Camelot, like semi EQ days of. It's not super difficult. It's not as hardcore as it was back then, but it was still super fun when it came to that.
Yeah.
And so that's like the biggest thing I've been doing in Final Fantasy recently. And the expansion comes out in about a month, so I'm super hyped for that. But that's kind of all I've been playing.
I always wondered why no one really. Loads of people tried to make games that were spiritual successors to Dark Age of Camelot, but it feels like no one ever managed to capture whatever it was.
Do you know about Camelot Unchained?
Yeah, they're trying to. They're like
Is that the same people?
Mark Jacobs. It's
Yeah,
the guy
same
that
guy.
made Dark Age of Camelot. He has a new MMO he's working on right now that's a spiritual successor to DAOC.
Ooh,
Yep.
okay.
It's going to take the guy that made the original to make the next one, from
Yep.
the looks of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because loads of games tried it, like Warhammer Online and
Yeah, it failed.
all those where you've got castles and stuff you have to siege and this and that, but it just becomes a shit fest.
A lot of it becomes just server stability. When you get that many people,
So
in
much
a,
fun, though.
Yeah, when you get that
Yeah.
many people in a certain area, it kind of shits the bed. But yeah, that's just a random tangent that I had a lot of fun with last night. Ko, have you played Gwent at all? And I guess Zeke as well. Have you guys touched Gwent?
You know, it's funny. The Battleground servers went down unexpectedly today, and I was looking for something to play, and I downloaded Gwent and almost played it for the first time, but then the servers came back up. So no, like I tell people, I like my card games wrapped with a nice heavy RPG wrapper. I liked Gwent in The Witcher 3. I thought it was very fun. But one of the reasons that I really enjoyed Gwent in Witcher 3 was because my Witcher 3 character was playing it. Like it's weird to me how I can't get nearly as invested in it
That's really weird.
outside of Witcher 3 than in it. I literally have not played Gwent outside of Witcher 3, but I love it inside of Witcher 3. So
Why don't you just dye your facial hair and hair white?
He did.
Not
Just
about
role play that. Just role play it.
Yeah.
I could just go and just get a sword, and you know what? Screw streaming. I got monsters done.
And a personal trainer.
Yeah. How do I conjunct the spheres? And we'll just do this. Yeah, I don't know. But
Local
Actually,
man
you've got a
gone
horse.
crazy in North
You've got a
Carolina.
horse. You can have the horse in the room as
true.
well. It would be brilliant.
Jesus Christ. Zeke, what about you? I know you were huge in Gwent in the game. Are you going to check this out at all? The card game stuff?
I might. I don't really like when I do the card games. They don't last very long. Like I played Hearthstone for 3 days, like 12 hours each day, but I played it.
It was a great 3 days, though, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, it was a great 3 days. It was cool to open packs, and then I realized like not a lot there for me, and then I kind of just let it go.
Yeah.
Gwent is awesome. I loved playing it in the game, and I liked going against new like computer opponents, but I really don't like going against actual people. I found out.
I want to tell you a story that made me laugh so much. Shannon's in chat. She's going to kill me. Shannon was like, I want to learn to play Hearthstone. So she got an account and she started playing it. And it was like, hello, it came up saying like, hello, traveler, welcome to Hearthstone. Here's how you put a card down and all this basic stuff. And then all of a sudden, she comes running in the room because I was streaming at the time. She's like, oh my God, I had to Alt F4 out of my game because the game just threw me against a random player and I wasn't ready to play a player and I was really stressed and anxious about it.
Oh, that's normal. Yeah.
Well, you say that. What's the name of that bloody knoll in the starting grounds of Warcraft? It's really famous. I can't remember his name for the life of me.
A star.
You
No,
don't
so-
mean EQ1 named Flippy Darkpod, do you?
What?
Never mind. Okay.
No, yeah.
This is a very what's the Hogger. That's it.
Oh, Hogger.
One of the
Okay,
most
yeah.
famous characters in
Okay,
Warcraft. And she's like,
Hogger.
and all of a sudden, like I'm against this guy called Hogger, and I just Alt F4 because I didn't want to play him because I was anxious, and I was like, Hogger's part of the storyline. It's part of the tutorial. It wasn't a real person, but she thought this Hogger was a real player, and she freaked out and closed the game. It actually made me laugh for ages. But if you've never played WoW, you don't know who Hogger is, so
Yeah,
it
you
looks
don't
like
know
a
who the
game,
fuck that
right?
is. Yeah.
Bless her. I'm sleeping on the couch tonight.
Yeah, that was your own doing. But the story was nice, so thank you for telling it. I'm curious, how many people in chat, and we'll have to wait 30 seconds, but how many people in chat are like, kind of feel the same way as Ko and Zeke? Like you love Gwent, but you don't want to sit there and just play Gwent and only Gwent. Because I really wonder how that game's going to do, not really on Twitch, but just in general. Like, is there a big enough player base that's like fucking foaming at the mouth for this?
Dude, a good way to think about it is remember that Gwent started as a card game in Witcher 3.
Yeah.
There was enough of a financial benefit to pulling it out of their game, making a standalone, and selling it. Not only is Gwent doing well, but it is pulling players from other TCGs. Like it is
True.
There's a lot in Gwent. I mean, they really knocked it out of the park when they made that game in Witcher 3. And it's from everything I've heard, it's doing decently.
Did they do
Sorry.
Did they do the quintessential thing of paying all the Hearthstone streamers to play it for a
Yes.
day or two? They did?
Yeah, yeah. I've seen Trump play it. I've seen Reynard play it. Yeah, and Crypt.
It's funny how whenever a card game comes out, they're like, well, let's get those Hearthstone players playing it. Let's get the sponsor streams out. It's super smart, but it happens with everyone.
Yeah. But I was just going to say, I think this might be one of the first times I can think of where a game has come out, especially when you think of a card game. Like if Hearthstone came out and you had to learn how to play it because it was a fairly new, it had some similarity to Magic the Gathering and everything, or whatever it's called. But this is the first game where people already know how to play it because they played it in another game. So it's kind of an easier launch because you're not having to be like, hey, learn this new crazy like Shadowverse. Like I know a fair amount about Hearthstone. If I went to play Shadowverse, I'd be like, what the hell is this? But if I played Shadowverse inside another game and for like 50 hours, then it gives you kind of a more comfortable starting zone for those kind of games where traditionally a lot of people are really shy about starting off because it's such a unique meta and game to approach from that perspective. So it's a really interesting, I wonder how that helps them on the launch.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying it's nothing like the end game version.
It is different. They made a lot of changes, and again, I haven't played it, but from everything I've heard, and people were warning me about this when I was talking about it before. They've made a lot of changes to make it more competitive. Like they've changed some of the rules around. They've changed some of the cards. They've added a bunch of stuff. Like when it released, it didn't have one of the factions. They're trying to make a competitor to current TCGs. And in The Witcher 3, it was a little bit more confined. And now that it's a standalone project, they're kind of opening it up a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool.
I suppose you have to, because if you just had the Gwent from the game, it's kind of real basic after like 20 hours.
We'll see.
But it's Gwent. It's still, it's still the 3 rows, and then the heart of the game is there. It's now its own game, so it's obviously evolved a little bit.
Okay.
So is it out now, or is it coming out? Because I've not been.
The open beta actually opened today. Anyone can download and play it right now, from what I understand. If you make like a GOG account or something, you can just sign up and download it.
They own
playing.
GOG, right?
Trump's playing it right now.
Yeah, CD Projekt Red
and Live Coach and quite a few Hearthstone people. Ironically, that's kind of a mixed bag, actually, because if you think about it, if a new card game comes out and all the big card game players go to play it, if you're a Hearthstone player, it's probably in your interest to keep playing Hearthstone because you're going to get the drop-off viewership of their channels that are missing.
Possibly.
So it's kind of a weird one, right? Would you rather get more traction in the game you're already known for, or would you try and play a new game but know that you'll be further down the list?
I wonder how Gwent's doing on Twitch. I haven't even...
Yeah,
top streamer is Dan's Gaming on 3K.
Who?
Dan's Gaming. Dan S Gaming. He's a new up.
Dan's Gaming at 3K?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan S Gaming. And then Trump's at 2.5.
Friday the 13th
he
is
generally has pretty more than that.
Yeah, that's kind of low. Friday the 13th is right below Player Unknowns right now by about 2,000, 2,300.
Friday the 13th held the top place on Twitch for a little bit today.
Yeah. I wonder if it'll keep up that momentum. We got a little bit of an exclusive here. Since Zeke is from Montana, he can tell us all about Far Cry 5. So,
yeah, I totally can. I didn't get like 100 fucking messages on Twitter like, hey, did you hear Far Cry 5 going to be in Montana? And I said, no, I didn't to each one of them. No, tell me about it. Oh my God, is it? No, it's fine though, because like it's one of those things you don't see it coming.
Right, yeah. Who the fuck wants to make anything in Montana? Right? I mean, Zeke, he knows this isn't a joke. He's dead. Exactly.
I mean, who lives in Montana? Unverified guys? Like,
you're telling Man versus Game lives here, and he's verified.
He's the mayor.
Didn't he leave?
He's the mayor of Montana. They just have a mayor of the state. The governor and the mayor, they're the same person. Also the head milker. They're the same people.
You can
and
tell
he's
how
my
small
uncle,
England
because
is.
we're all related too.
You can tell how small England is when I think you have a mayor of a state.
That's why I was laughing so hard. Not because of the members game stuff, but because you probably thought it was really a mayor of the entire state. Anyways.
So, Zeke, serious question here.
Yeah.
So, Far Cry games are generally known for having like large, square kilometer open areas of huge amounts of things to do.
Sure.
Is there anything like that in Montana?
The first half of what you said, absolutely. Big, square kilometers. But there's a lot of that with nothing at all in them. I am curious
sounds
to
like a
see
Far Cry
what they
game to
do
me.
because here's the thing. If they set it in Montana and they set it with like this cult kind of a thing that they're going for, like a religious culty whatever. That is not. I mean, that's not that far from what has and could happen. However, if they ask you like to go on a mission to the next town over, that's 2-hour drive. That's a 2-hour drive to the next town over.
Yeah, that's a fast travel
point. The next town over is someplace that has a post office. Like you can go to Bob's ranch, and Bob's ranch is only 45 minutes, but only Bob lives there because his wife died. And he tends the farm on his own, and he's having real trouble because he's got gout in his legs, and it's just a sad story the whole way through. But if you want to go to a town that has a post office and a bar, that's how you know it's a town. It's gonna be a fucking drive.
I really am curious. The people from the dev team of Far Cry that had to go to Montana to take pictures and like live in the state for a little bit to understand how to make the game look.
They all came back with 2 words. You sure? Did you met Montana?
Yeah.
You sure?
No, I'm wondering I'm honestly wondering how they'll populate it.
Yeah, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm wondering like how many people that they could fit into because Montana, I think we have. I don't know if we've hit 1 million people in the entire state yet.
Really? I didn't. Okay.
I'm not sure. I think
Really?
we're hovering around 900 and something thousand in the entire state. Like the biggest town in Montana I live in, Billings, has like 100,000.
Huh. I didn't realize
So
that was
I don't know
small.
how it's populated. And if it takes place out in the fucking boonies in the country where a cult might happen, there's only going to be like 75 people out there max.
We have
Well,
like
good.
9 million
The
people
game
in
will
London.
run fine.
We have 9 million people in London, and that's got a mayor. And you don't have a mayor for Montana that has 1 million people.
There you go. Yeah, 1.033 million. There you go.
Get 'em
Okay,
there.
cool.
Get a mayor.
Cool.
Real talk though, it like think about a Far Cry game.
The
You
animals and
drive
stuff?
around Far Cry games, and generally every 15 feet you have an enemy camp that you have to take over, full of hostile people armed to the teeth with guns.
Yeah.
Like I'm actually starting to get genuinely curious how they're going to stage a Far Cry game in the United States.
Well, the other, you think about it this way too. The Far Cry game is based around upgrades that are usually coming from pelts of animals. Like, are they just going to populate the giant vacant spaces with a ton of animals so that you can upgrade
Maybe
your
you could make a
inventory
neckbeard
pouch?
coat or something.
Yeah.
Are they going to have armed to the teeth militia camps like all
Yeah.
over Montana? Like
They should
that's
put
I mean,
Texas.
if there's anything to go from this story, like that guy's got a AR, that's a fucking Magnum.
No, I'm
that's-
sure they're gonna like
Some
they're
fucking
gonna
RPGs right here.
they're gonna hillbilly it up. I'm sure.
Yeah,
we
I
don't
think
have
so.
there's a difference between hillbilly and country. Like we have a lot of country folk, but we don't have a lot of hillbilly folk. Like country folk like talk slow. They have land, they tend it. But they're not like stereotypical hillbillies, meaning like how you picture them in your head, like
got you.
so they're more like agro
like
corn
picture
and less
a
like
farmer. Picture a farmer that has 6 kids and a wife and like 3 dogs. Picture that. That's Montana.
Okay.
But it just talks real slow. Like they're
My
not like,
references for this are more far removed because I'm from Britain, but we get taught in school in Britain the difference between a hillbilly and someone from the country is about 3 chromosomes. Is that not? Did I just offend like a lot of people? Maybe.
It's all right. It's
Well, no.
perfectly fine.
It's kind of the difference between, hey, I grow corn, or hey,
Wanna come meet my dead mom?
there's like a little bit of
Sure.
there's a
Yeah,
little
right.
bit of leeway between the two,
Maybe
but
so.
not too much. It's like
I mean, you gotta imagine that like people in the South is much more populated. This is a
Open.
huge area of very, very few people. Like as far as people per square mile, like Wyoming and Montana are among the lowest
Yeah.
in North America.
Yep.
Now here's a question about Far Cry. Are they
So-
going to use the same map for the third time? Oh, sorry, go on. Yeah, go.
I was gonna say one thing. Like there's a definite statement that I've come to. I've said this before, as far as being from Montana and knowing people who have lived here all their life and live in rural areas. And country don't mean dumb is a statement that comes to mind a lot. They speak real slow, but that doesn't mean, that they don't come across as stupid. They just come across as real, like, salt of the earth kind of people.
Well, actually, I was watching a Joe Rogan podcast, and he had a psychologist on, and there's actually a direct correlation. They did a study. There's a direct correlation between the speed that you talk and walk and the population density. So if you go to places like China, where everything's packed in, you just have to walk everywhere fast, and you have to just blurt out the information and get the information you need back and go. So the more dispersed a populace is, the slower you have to talk and the slower you take life. So that makes sense. If you've got 1 million people in that state, and each town is a few hundred people, that's why they talk slow, because they don't have that. It's a total normal phenomenon for humans. That the more people you have in a small area, the faster everyone has to talk and walk.
Makes sense. Yeah. Totally makes sense.
But yeah, getting back to the actual game we were talking about.
Yeah. But yeah, I was going to say,
I don't
like,
know if they're going to do it. I think they
I really
if
don't
they
know. They put out this
hillbillied
teaser.
up as far as populating it with more dynamic characters and that kind of stuff, because it's fucking boring here, really. That's the problem that I see. It's just really fucking boring. And that is definitely Montana right there. That is like
So it's gorgeous.
Eastern
yeah.
Montana, it's plains.
The thing that
Would it
fucked
be
with
less-
me is in this trailer, by the way. I saw this and I was like, man, that looks really fucking good. And then it didn't dawn on me till about 2 days later when someone tweeted me and said, like, that was all real video footage. That has nothing to do with the fucking game. And I was kind of like, why is the fucking teaser trailer real life footage of a fucking game? That is the most Ubisoft thing in the world to me.
yeah.
To fucking do that. Because then no one can be like, well, the game didn't look as good as the trailers because there's no fucking footage. I thought that was bizarre.
I'm waiting
shit.
for those people where it's like, man, those trees just look so unrealistic and low res, and you can see the shadowing. Where's my anti-aliasing?
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna happen. I thought it was fucking phenomenal looking. It's like, man, they really bumped up the graphics for this, but no, it's just fucking real life footage. I think
Someone
Sakura,
else, they're Amish here. They are not called Amish. They're Hutterites, is what we have in Montana.
Hutterites?
But they are very close to Amish.
How do you say
They're
that?
They're of German descent. Hutterite.
Hutterite. Okay,
Yeah, not Mennonite Hutterite.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Sakura, were you gonna say
But
something?
they
Did I cut
do
you
the
off?
same thing. They kind of shun, and
Technology.
that's the thing. Like they fudge it. They fudge their religious rules for sure. Like they're like, nah, don't use electronics except the cell phone. I guess cell phones.
Exactly, yeah. It's all fun.
that.
It's all fun and games until you need keyhole surgery, and you're like, okay, go on then. Right.
Yeah.
But no, I was just gonna say about Far Cry. I never really played the franchise much, or the latest few. But I seem to remember there was a Far Cry Primal or something that came out. Is that the last one? And they pretty much
Yes, I think.
reskinned the map from the one before.
Pretty much.
And there's a screenshot, and it's like every camp is in the same place, and all the rivers are in the same place, and they literally not pretty much. If you look at the overlays, literally 1-to-1, they mirrored it 1-to-1, except they changed some of the like foliage and trees
Yeah.
and rocks and
What's
whatever.
even funnier is they also reskinned the gameplay.
Yeah, they did. It was
Really?
very similar. I
Oh,
feel
dude,
like
every Far Cry plays exactly the same.
I feel like for every numbered Far Cry, they get like new maps and stuff. But for like Primal was more of an expansion than a new game. It was still a new game, right? Like
Did it sell as a
completely
retail
different story and
game? Like,
Oh,
did
yeah.
you pay $60 for it, whatever?
stuff. Yep, it's full retail
Wow.
game. Yeah, As far as I
I
remember,
planned
it's
on playing
$60.
Primal for an entire day and then finishing it. Took
Yeah.
me an hour and a half to close out of it and never play it again.
Yeah, we went to that the three of us were actually there for that reveal event or whatever in
Yep.
San Fran. It was like, this is kind of cool.
California.
It's not bad. And then the actual game came out and it was like, oh, okay.
I played it for a little bit, doing the experiments with the grenades and the like lashing people to stuff and playing tetherball with dead bodies and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
you can have
That
have
was
some
pretty
fun.
Feels like
The
Just
problem
Cause
with Far
was up
Cry,
there.
dude, is when you make a game like Far Cry 3 with Voss, when you make this one of them that's just like so much better than the rest of them,
Yeah.
that it's just all of a sudden it's like, can you repeatedly jump the shark? I don't know. Apparently,
Yeah.
they're forging new ground. But yeah, it's crazy. Like they've been kind of trying to remake that kind of spirit of 3, and each time they seem to get kind of like a little bit further away from it. It's just kind of like
Yep.
it's going to be really interesting to see what they do in Far Cry 5, because I have a feeling this is either going to bring the series back or they're finally going to be like, okay,
We're done.
we're
yeah.
done with this.
Yep.
Like this is it.
I think so too. I think that'll probably be one of their headline things for E3 in 2 weeks. So we'll be looking forward to that. Some other news: Red Dead Redemption got. I like how Rockstar made this post. They didn't say delayed. They said Red Dead Redemption 2 is now coming spring 2018. They didn't. There's no negativity in that entire statement. It's now
Nothing wrong
coming in
there.
spring 2018.
Hey, your monthly paycheck is now coming next week. Everything's fine.
Yeah, exactly. I love the PR spin on that. But I haven't seen really anyone that was like, well, fucking what the fuck, Rocks. Most people are like, okay, sure,
Yeah.
make the game better.
But they've kind of got that respect, haven't
They
they?
do.
Rockstar. They don't fuck much up.
They really do. Yeah. And they also put out some screenshots, which I don't know what it says. Maybe it says a lot about a publisher or a game where they could release screenshots and people are just like, man, that game looks fucking great.
Yeah.
That game looks fucking fantastic.
Is it console only or is it PC or?
They haven't said. I would assume.
So I think-
No, it says set to launch spring 2018 on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. PC's not mentioned. They'll probably do the same thing they did with GTA 5, where it comes out like a year later. And
Lame.
you'll probably be buying all 3 versions, like most people did with that game. 'Cause
Actually, GTA
it was
was
that good.
GTA was one of the games that made me get a console so I could stream the game. It was the first one that did it.
Same, man. It was GTA 5 was and is. You can hop like you can go look at a GTA 5 RP stream right now, and that game still looks fucking great.
It looks fresh, yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely. That engine was that for me, Rockstar games and GTA games are the pinnacle of what I would call AAA development.
Yeah.
Like it's like 30 games all in one in an amazing engine. It's like how did they even achieve it? It blows my mind. So when you see these other games come out for like $40 and it's like, hey, play this like recurring gameplay loop with 6 variants and 12 skins. It's like, how did you what?
Yeah.
It blows your mind, right?
Well, there's also a reason that Rockstar has about 4 to 5 years in between each of their games, and a lot of those studios, like Far Cry, have about 1 or 2.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They're kind of like Blizzard in that regard.
Oh, and how long they work on the games? Is that what you're
They
saying?
work on a game until it's done and
Yeah.
it's quality. And I mean, I don't like them all myself, but Blizzard games are a damn good example of how to do games right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Well,
definitely
if you've got the best RTS in the world, the best MMO in the world, and arguably the best FPS in the world, and the best card game in the world, you're doing something right.
they're doing really well over
We
there.
should say
Blizzard.
most popular.
Yeah.
Yes.
In terms, like if you look at like top FPS on Twitch, what top couple is going to be Overwatch. Top card game on Twitch is Hearthstone. Top RTS on Twitch would probably be StarCraft.
Yeah, but there's
Remember-
there's like 3 StarCrafts, and then you get to MOBA, and Heroes has a hard time struggling against or beating anything. So
On MOBA, yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
yeah, so
That's been interesting for Blizzard, like having all these complete chart toppers, and then this this didn't really work out.
yeah.
But it's got a bow in his
Even
head.
though they've dumped like so much.
The thing
money
with,
into it.
I mean, we've talked about it a lot, but Heroes of the Storm is good for like 5 games, and then you're like, oh yeah, okay, I get this, and then you move on to another thing.
But I
That's
can't
how
think
it
of a
works.
more hard market to break into than MOBA.
Yeah.
That's a serious market. When you've got a game like League that's like, hello, we're 90% of MOBA players. like it's really hard to break in. Whereas if you look at FPS,
Oh man, you
Name-
man,
what
you know
was-
you know
what
that
was gonna
joke you
be
made about the
Overwatch?
3 chromosomes? You actually triggered more people with that statement about 90%. Because all the Dota 2 people in chat are literally going to your Kickstarter right now and trying to find a way to harass it.
They're like, can I take money from this somehow? How do I defund this?
Yeah.
To defend, okay, Dota people, relax. I'm an Invoker main. I've played 3,000 hours of Dota and less than 500 hours of League. So let's all relax.
Okay. All right. Whew. They're calming down now. I can hear
Yeah.
them backing away from the door.
Okay, everyone relax. Go
They're
and watch
leaving
Game
the
9 play Dota.
studio.
Well, hold on. Whoa. Just because you think you're one of us, you can just fucking talk shit and not forget? You think that makes it better?
Oh, brother.
I remember actually, speaking of card games, like when I was last on your stream for the last E3, wasn't there some kind of Star Wars card game that was announced? And I joked it should be called Darthstone. What happened to that?
You sure? Was that the
Was it Elder Scrolls?
The Elder Scrolls card game.
Because there's
I
Elder
know,
Scrolls.
because I made the joke it should be called Darthstone. Specifically, someone at E3.
Oh, that was because the Battlefront card system?
Oh,
Maybe?
Maybe?
that makes sense.
I'm
I feel like that was something.
I seem to
wanna
remember
say
Star
it was
Wars,
that, but
Star
maybe
Wars
not.
Satan had a card game coming out. Or it might be that game that they turned into the Android game where you have like a little team of people that fight.
There was
Maybe they changed
EA had a Star Wars card game. Maybe it's mobile only.
Yeah, has a Star Wars card.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, no. Chat is saying there was a card game. Yeah, they.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it might have been mobile only, and it probably makes more money than all the games we've talked about on today's show. So, so that shows how clued in we are to that market. Did you guys see this? I think it was the same day that Destiny was revealed, but a new Life is Strange game is coming.
I heard about that.
Yeah, I don't know if we have any like big Zeke. Were you super into that game?
No, I played the first 2 chapters like twice and never fucking finished it.
Okay, I think I'm probably
That's one of
maybe
those
the biggest-
games that I'm like, when I have a lull in games and
Or a
nothing I
midlife
really want to
crisis.
play, I'll pick that up.
Okay.
And I never did
pretty
because I
excited for it.
could not get past the first fucking chapter. And everybody said, you gotta get past the first chapter, push through.
Yeah, that is true. You do got
It's like the first 2 episodes of Westworld. Push through and you'll be okay.
Yep. Exactly. Was there Castlevania apparently had a new trailer on Netflix that launched like 10 minutes ago. I haven't watched that at all though, so I can't comment on it, but I know that's out
Wait,
there.
what?
Castlevania is
Netflix-
getting a Netflix show.
Castle.
Yeah, and also Witcher as well, right?
Yes, and talk to Co about that.
No kidding. Really? Awesome.
That's Co's hot take on the Witcher trailer. Back to you, Zeke. Take it away.
I didn't realize what a firestorm on Twitter I would cause by well, not a firestorm, I wouldn't say that. But you say something bad about Witcher,
Yeah.
anything bad about
Oh
Witcher,
yeah.
and the Witcher police come out and they're like,
Yeah. And
what was
munitions
that
there.
motherfucker?
They're
I'm
fucking-
sorry, I didn't quite hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all cosplayed up and they're taunting you.
Yep, they're like, I don't know if he's a human or a demon, but I'm gonna use one of these swords on you.
Jesus Christ.
And I don't know why he made him Southern, but apparently
Why
I
not?
was just thinking that, but I was, you know what? Sure. Montana Witcher. Let's do it.
Hey, I'd
Witcher,
play
Witcher
that.
4 right there. You see him in Montana, like outside of Zeke's house.
You've got like a
That's the
normal
whole- that's the
baseball
whole
bat and then an aluminum one. Like, I don't know which one to use.
Did you guys see the WikiLeaks guy? All those memes when the Netflix show was announced. The WikiLeaks, whatever, Julian Assange.
Julian
or whatever.
Assange.
Yeah, how he
Assange,
looks
yeah.
exactly like the fucking
Yeah.
Geralt. Yeah, that was hilarious as shit. Oh God. Anyways, is there anything else? We're 3 minutes till show ends, so we didn't have any time to talk about what we're playing.
Little tiny quick note for those that are interested and have played Divinity Original Sin. Divinity Original Sin 2 got a release date today, September 14th.
Isn't that right next to Destiny?
Yeah.
Well,
I play on PC though, so I don't care.
Right.
yeah. I guess those 2 games are probably
They're
not.
so different, dude.
Yeah.
No one who plays Divinity Original Sin 2 is gonna probably be swayed by death. Well, I say that, but they cater to different audiences.
Who knows?
Very different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
also South Park Fractured Butthole,
That got
October
released date.
17th.
Yeah. Yep.
That is the game I'm looking forward to the most of any game this year.
That says a lot.
There was some more Final Fantasy news, which I think is kind of crazy because they're doing something I've never seen anyone do before. They put out all the stuff about other classes. That stuff doesn't matter to you unless you play the game. But in Final Fantasy, in order to play an expansion, we've talked about this before on stream. In order to play an expansion, you have to have played everything leading up to that expansion, which in its current iteration of Final Fantasy XIV, it is about 380 quests or about 120 plus hours of content. On Wednesday, I think it was Monday maybe. On Monday, they are now selling potions to skip the entirety of that story content so that when the game launches, the expansion launches on June 16th for early access, June 20th full launch, you can just play. You can skip all of it.
You can pay real money
Yes.
to buy a potion
Yep.
to skip a quest to play a game that's locked unless you've done the quest.
Yep.
How much is this potion?
$25 to skip all the content. Which, if you think about it, you're skipping 120 plus hours of content.
Can I buy shares in that company?
Do not think like that. That is a fabricated time sink that they put in the game. You cannot think like that. That is like
It's the same.
I can't tell if you're joking. Are you actually joking?
No, I'm
Me?
not. This is
Oh yeah,
No, JP, like,
not
this
joking at
sounds
all.
like
This
some
is-
kind of dank meme.
that is
like,
it's totally
insane.
real.
Here ESO is, where they're like, hey, want to try our new expansion? You can roll a character and play wherever you want. And here's Final Fantasy, like, oh, you either get 120 hours or $25 to play our expansion.
And also, you have to buy the expansion on top of that. And also, you have to buy a character. If you want to have a character at 60, you have to buy the character level for 1 to 60, which is, I don't want to get the prices wrong, but give or take, it's around.
I gotta tell you, I often purchase games, and once they're in my my Steam library or whatever library, I consider them beaten and done. I just don't even touch them. I just buy them and I say, I beat it.
I will
Done.
say, as someone that plays the game for 600 or 700 plus hours now, it is the smartest thing Final Fantasy has ever done, because the number one reason why people will not play that game is because they have to do 120 plus hours of story content to play and do similar things that I'm doing in game. So they will probably make a fuck ton of money off of that.
Did you do the 120 hours?
Yeah.
But he's been playing the game.
I have been
So,
playing
like,
the game.
It's
Here's
it's
a perfect
not
example.
really-
Erin Aurelian started playing Final Fantasy in December. She is level 56 with the cap being 60 and about 40 quests from being done. So for about 6 months, she's been playing every week for about 15, 20 hours and is just now getting to the point where she'll be able to play the expansion with us alongside us at launch.
Wow.
And
I like all these people are
can't
like,
believe-
wow, charges for character upgrades. That doesn't mean it's okay. That doesn't mean that everyone is like, that doesn't validate it. It's
I mean,
That actually blown my mind. Like, I thought I knew how crazy this industry was, but I never thought anyone would ever try that, especially someone so mainstream. That's kind of crazy.
yeah.
But what about? I mean, what's the big deal though? Like,
That's why I'm kind of curious. Like,
I don't understand. Like
Really?
if people
Like,
want to
you
spend
can't
money to play
play
with
our
their
DLC
friends,
unless you've done a certain quest in our game,
here's the
but
thing.
you can also pay. It's like I almost get that. Like, we've got this DLC. It's only going to make sense if you've done the core quest from the previous game. That sounds like pride in your work. But then if you're like, oh, you can just give us $25 on top of buying the game, and we'll let you play it anyway without context. Like, that seems like an absolute money grab. Like, if they said for $1 you can buy a potion if you don't have the time to do this quest, whatever. But $25, like, you could buy a game for that.
but
You have to waste enough money to buy a game, to buy a new game on top of buying a new game just to play it because you don't have the time to do the quests.
but
Like,
right,
that's
but look
kind
at
of
this.
outrageous.
But what about this? What if you look at it this way? Like, JP comes up to me. He's like, dude, now's your chance to get into Final Fantasy 14. You don't have to play the 120 hours. If you want to play with me,
Yeah.
this is all you have to do now.
exactly.
I think that, I mean, opening a door for a new player like me who wants to play the expansion with someone who's excited about it for the first time.
So how would that work in Evolve? Let's say you wanted to play Evolve with me, Zeke, but you had to complete the single player first. And you're like, hey, I want to play Evolve with Sacriel. And I'm like, hey, you have to do single player or pay $25. Wouldn't you be like, I have to pay $25 to be able to play with my friends, you'd freak out. But in this MMO context, it seems to be okay. Like if
Well, it's $25 or 120 hours, or don't play.
Yeah.
I think it all comes down to like perspective. For instance, like MMOs, it's traditionally seen that when an MMO adds an expansion, that the expansion is new content for the people that are enjoying that MMO, and generally, MMOs make it easy to jump in. But I mean, it's totally Square's prerogative if they want to put this crazy barrier to entry in front of it, and I guess it's also their prerogative to charge $25 for it. But it just it seems like they could easily just have that be like the premise is odd because they're basically saying like pay us to basically play this for you up to this point instead of just like ESO again, for example, just skip it, just make a new character at the end of all that. It just seems not cool. And by the way, a lot of people are comparing this stuff to WoW. There's a lot of people saying WoW works like this and WoW works like that. I don't know the details. They're two different games. You can't really compare a system like this across two games, especially considering WoW has been out so much longer. There's so much legacy content.
Well,
like it can't really.
I think the comparison is in WoW you pay for a character to level, and then you're pretty much good to jump into whatever the latest patch is. In Final Fantasy, if you pay for a character level, which is something they're also introducing at the same time, it's all now at the same time. Even if you're level 60, you still need to go do that, quote, 90 hours of story or 60 hours of story, how much it is at that point. So there's like two barriers of entry. Like when people ask what's the fastest way, when they ask me when I'm streaming Final Fantasy, what's the fastest way to level in Final Fantasy? I say there's not. Do the main story quest. Because no matter what you do, you will always be behind the main story quest. Even if you're level 60, you still have to do that main story quest. So there's no reason to like level faster. Because you got to do the main story quest first. But it is a crazy thing because also on top of all this, this is a monthly, still one of the only, I guess besides WoW, it's a monthly system. You pay monthly to play.
How much?
It's $13, I think. Here's another thing that they do that'll probably trigger you guys.
That was the best laugh I've ever heard.
It's $13, but listen to this. This will get a real laugh out of Sacco. In the game, they have these things called retainers, right? These retainers are guys that you summon out, and they're basically your bank space. You get 2 free retainers in the game. Most people don't really ever use those 2 retainers up. For an additional $2 a month, you can have an extra retainer to get more inventory space, all the way up to 8. And there is a large portion of the player base that uses these and pays like $20 a month. An extra 6 on top of the base.
I need a financial advisor to play this game. Like, I need to remortgage my house. Like, this sounds, I don't know, it sounds too outrageous. I can't tell if you're still trolling or not.
Nope.
This sounds too crazy that how have I not heard of this yet?
I mean, I don't know.
Now, quick question. Do you think this is a case of people logging in the hours and putting in the work and then seeing someone pay to get to where they are, letting other people's experience of the game ruin their experience of the game?
I
don't follow.
No, I mean,
try to re-explain that to me.
Okay, paying to get like you 120 hours.
Yes.
But I pay to get to that level. I pay $25 or whatever to get to that level.
Okay,
Do you think it's a case of someone who played 120 hours going, this is fucking bullshit. I put in the work. You didn't.
I think that there are people like that. I've definitely seen comments like that. The other thing that I've also seen is that the people that pay for this upgrade for their characters, they're going to, quote, ruin the group finder stuff because they'll have a max level character and have no fucking clue what to do on their characters because they didn't learn how to play the game getting up there. And I guess I kind of see some. That's probably been like the funny enough, the price stuff. I haven't seen anyone complain about that within the community. It's mostly been like people are going to hit max level and have no fucking clue what to do. And that's going to destroy my experience.
Well, and to be fair, also, I mean, this $25 thing doesn't affect anyone that's already a part of the community. Like they're probably they've already done their story quests. They probably did weeks
Yeah,
and months.
you're
ago.
probably
they were
right.
already almost caught up. So I mean,
You're probably right.
this is really just for new people, from the sounds of it.
That's a good point. Yeah. Or those people that want to get a level 60 new class on their character.
The thing that I wonder really is the amount of people looking at that $25 and going, "This is ridiculous." Is it worth that over the amount of money they're making from it? Like, I wonder if the premise really was like, we need to make more money for this, and we're going to do this to do it, or I wonder if it was more of a.
I honestly think the
like
reason that they did this was because there was such a cry from people wanting to play the game with their friends, but didn't want to put in the solo experience time of 120 plus hours to get to that point to play with their friends.
But $25?
You buy a game for
that's like an extra
full-length
expansion.
title.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I look at
for
20.
a database change, it's like effectively.
And think like a new player does a new player have to buy the game and the expansion and pay a monthly fee and then pay $25?
Yeah. Yes. They have
And
to buy the base game. They have to buy Heaven's Ward, which is the second expansion, and the new expansion, Stormblood. Although I think if you buy Stormblood or something, you get one of those free or something. There's some game that's packaged amongst all that. So there's those three things to buy if you just want to play the game. The first month's free. Then you pay your monthly stuff. Then if you want to level a character to 60, it's X amount of money. And then if you want to skip the story stuff, it's $25.
Can I get a notepad?
It is a lot for sure. For sure.
We're over time. I'm hungry. Let's.
Yeah,
we can end it anytime.
We can have another discussion on this another time.
Man just said in chat, remember when you used to buy a game and just play the game? Pepper Ridge Farm remembers. And it really does feel like that. I remember you just buy
like
Quake, you play
2000.
Quake. You buy Unreal, you play Unreal. Like, when it's like you buy the game, you pay monthly, you pay for your bank, you pay for a quest to skip, you pay for the expansion. It's like outrageous. Food for thought.
Yeah. I really wonder the average, like, I'm thinking about this and then trying to compare it to other games. Like, I wonder what the average person has spent on loot boxes, because all of my stuff, like, I bought 100 loot boxes on Monday for Overwatch, and I barely even play the game. So I wonder what, like, the average person does spend on that every time a new skin pack is released, or whatever game it is where you can buy stuff for extra monies. Because I don't know what the average person spends on that. We're all people that work in this industry, and it behooves us to buy these things most of the time to stream and get the latest and greatest. I don't know.
It's a kind of a weird parallel, though, because if you're spending money on crates, you're saying, I've got $5, I hope my character looks cooler. Not, I have to spend this to play with my friends or I'm not.
That's true. It is optional.
There's a lot of social pressure. Like, if you've got friends that have done those quests 120 hours, but you work 40 hours a week and you don't have time to do it, but then you don't have the money to buy the quest, and they're all like, hey, we're playing next week, and you're like, okay, I guess I buy the expansion, pay my monthly fee, and buy for this potion that gets you. That's mental. That's kind of crazy.
There is another perspective to this, though, that I know I wasn't considering. Earlier, I think it was one of your mods, JP. I think it was King Reginald. He mentioned that apparently the potions were put in on the player's request.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier.
Well, yeah, but every game's got whales that just want to pay money to skip shit.
That's true. But I mean, I wonder if it like I don't know. The situation just seems weird. I feel like they could have circumvented this by just giving everyone who buys the expansion a free potion, and then if you like didn't want to, but I don't know.
And World of Warcraft did that exact thing when they introduced the free or the like buy a level 60 character or whatever. When you bought the expansion, you got a free level 60 that you just got for buying the expansion.
It's just thrown in, right?
Yeah, and that definitely would have made sense. But at the end of the day, I think that
if you roll a new character, your friends can roll new characters and you can play together. And, you know, for example, when WoW did that patch where, what would it be? Cataclysm, where the whole world changed and the 0 to 60 quest lines all changed. You could just make a bunch of level 1s with your mates and play. There wasn't like, hey, you have to have a level 60 from the previous patch to experience this new world. Like,
sure.
I don't think there's many parallels anywhere near the
There's not. Final Fantasy is the only MMO that does that. It's quite bizarre.
It's got a Japanese developer, I guess.
Square Enix, it's Square Enix.
So I think I read that kind of that region over there, like Korea and Japan and stuff, they are way more into just pay to skip, pay to win stuff than Western developers and communities.
Yeah, I would agree with that. We're like 15 minutes over though, so let's end the show. We'll talk about this next week. I don't know if it's it was kind of a crazy news week. We'll see what happens next week. And then fucking it's E3 week, so it gets even fucking real crazy, which is going to be a lot of fun. Let's do some shout outs though. Zeke, we'll start with you.
Put your best foot forward. Ezekiel the Third here. Hello.
What?
Variety streamer, usually broadcast at noon Pacific every day that I'm not doing this show or Blades in the Dark. Want to thank Sacriel for being here today, and if you have not gone to the Breaking Point Kickstarter, check out the Breaking Point Kickstarter, and when the survey comes out, tell him Zeke sent you. Don't forget, tell him Zeke sent you. All right, that's all I got. Thanks.
Good stuff.
Hashtag Zeke sent you.
Hashtag Zeke sent you, yeah. Co, do some shout outs.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Co. It's nice to meet you guys, if I haven't before. Big thank you, as always, to Zeke and JP. A huge thank you to Sacriel. A lot of good info today on his new game. Very excited to see that develop, and I was going to link it, but Shannon, feel free to spam that a little bit. Awesome. I'm a variety streamer. I stream every day. There's a lot of Friday the 13th Battlegrounds coming up on my channel. Hope to see you guys there. We also started Planescape Torment, kind of out of the blue. That was kind of fun. Maybe return to that sometime soon. And yeah, that's really about it. So as always, thank you guys, and see you guys next week. Maybe. Are we taking a show off before E3?
Probably not, unless you guys want to. I don't know. We can talk about it. That's the first time.
I don't want to because I won't be here for the E3 show.
Yeah, we should do like a pre E3 show or something.
Pre-3.
Pre-3. No, that's the first.
So-
that's Wednesday.
It's copywritten. There's already a
Is that a
pre-pre show.
thing? Okay.
Oh, okay. Sacriel,
There's already a pre-pre show.
Okay, Sacriel, do some shout outs.
Hello. I'm the mayor of Montana. No, I'm not. My name's Sacriel. You can find me over here where it says twitch.tv/Sacriel. I primarily play PvP games with an emphasis on high-level skill and very chat interactive and very educational, explaining the strategies and methods that I use in the games I play. But also, I'm the lead designer on Breaking Point, which is in Kickstarter at the moment, which is a PvP sandbox first-person shooter game with an AI threat. We talked a lot about it in today's cast. So where can people find this VOD, JP? Is it going to be on your YouTube or is it on your Twitch?
Yeah, YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, so check out JP's YouTube. You can just search for Drop Frames and you'll find all the episodes. And if you want a lot more information about the game, you can check there or playbreakingpoint.com. Massive thank you to JP, Co, and Zeke for having me on. And I think I'm around for the E3 stuff as well, so you'll see me again soon.
That's right. You are here, as well as your better half, Shannon, will also be here. Can we request? I'm going to show everyone your green screen setup. Can we request that the lights are set up by then in your new house?
Yeah, we can't afford lighting, unfortunately.
Let's just.
It doesn't look too bad if you unzoom it though. That is some ratchet setup right now. Oh, it's not even well. Like this behind me is a set of it's like a bookshelf, and there's a metal rod that I found that should be holding up my table that I didn't screw in.
Oh God!
Like hanging off the side of it, and there is a clip holding the green screen on. It is ratchet as hell out here right now.
I gotta start using that more. It's ratchet. Sam used that. That must be like a British thing. Is that a British?
No, it's an American thing. No, I think it's like
that's
ghetto.
a Mean Girls thing, right?
Is it a Mean thing?
It's like an American ghetto kind of.
So ratchet, because ratchet is just wretched, but in a voice.
Oh my God!
Man,
A ratchet.
I need to put
That's
that in my
hilarious.
vocabulary. I'll work on putting that in my vocabulary. We'll see you next week. I don't know who the guest is going to be. Jericho will be the guest after that for our pre-E3 show, but we'll figure out who the guest is next week. We're out. Bye-bye. See you later.